Kevin Durant, the Durantula, is now a Phoenix Sun.
Yeah, Kevin Durant is joining forces with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and DeAndre Ayton. And it looks like Phoenix had to pay a steep price to get Kevin Durant. They had to give their star or their youngest up and coming star, Mikal Bridges, who came in second place in Defensive Player of the Year, and he's a small forward, so he's one of the best defensive wings. And this year, he's actually expanded his offensive game the most he's ever done before, but they had to give him up. Cam Johnson, who was a big rotation player and playoff player for them last year out of West Virginia, had just came back from injury, and he was killing it. He was absolutely killing it, and he's gone. And then Jay Crowder, who's always been on playoff teams, like when the Miami Heat went to the finals, he was on that
everywhere.
team.
He's in Boston.
He always plays an undersized power forward that shoots threes and plays good defense. He didn't play all year for the Suns because he hated the coach, just like DeAndre Ayton, but he actually hated him so much he refused to play. But he went to Brooklyn too. And then they sent 4 future first-round picks. So, I mean, I think it was a pretty even trade, but bet on, I heard that they tried to give Chris Paul away in this trade, but they wouldn't have it. They said he was too old.
They tried to get Chris Paul instead of Malik.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Paul instead of Malik would have been fine.
Mikal,
but with this, like, the Suns is trash now. Like, you don't have a bench. You don't have, like, so when y'all get tired, who gonna save you? Chris Paul?
They're going to have to stagger their minutes, and Chris Paul's going to have to be back to the young Chris Paul.
Chris Paul finna blow his leg out.
But, they still got a pretty decent starting lineup. They got Chris Paul,
it's not about
Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. I don't know who's going to play the 4, and then DeAndre Ayton.
Exactly, but when they get tired, it's 4 quarters. It's tired. Like they always talk about
they still got Cameron Payne.
That's not enough. They always talk about how, like, Boston, they're so deep, or this team right here, they got so many players they can throw at you. Like, all you got to do is just keep the game close when the starting lineup's in, and then once they take out Kevin Durant or Booker first, whoever they take out, that's when you just send everybody.
That's honestly used to be the Spurs formula. The Spurs used to be like, they would keep the game close with the starters. It would be about even. But when the bench came in, they would go up by like 5 or 10 points because they always had a better bench than the other teams.
Barbosa was fire.
I'm talking about Popovich, Ginobili.
You said for the
Spurs.
Oh, the Spurs. I'm thinking,
but the Suns also, they had a good bench guy in Barbosa, but I was talking about Popovich, and the Spurs' mentality was that the starters just got to keep it even, because when our bench comes in, our bench is going to murk their bench.
True that.
And they actually won a bunch of championships off that. But let's see what Draymond Green himself had to say about this trade.
The Phoenix Suns got a lot better, you think? You're pretty much saying, I'm going for everything right now. We have a window, and while we're in this window, let's go all in. And I respect that, because when you do have a window in this league, you have to go all in if you expect to maximize that window. Losing Mikal Bridges is not a small thing. Number one, Mikal Bridges continues to get better.
Facts.
He's gotten better with the ball. His shot has gotten better. His mid-range is money. And as we all know, he's an incredible defender. Now, you're adding Kevin Durant, so Kevin Durant can definitely make up that. Are the Suns favorites in the West now? On paper, they have to be favorites in the West, definitely on paper. But the Dubs still in the West. And it's the Dubs Invitational until further notice, baby.
Y'all not finna win.